Some people bleed without a wound. It starts small, a glance that lingers too long elsewhere, a message read but never answered, a room that feels colder than it should. No insult, no blow, just absence. And yet, your mind rushes to fill the silence with self-doubt, panic, rejection. This is what being overly sensitive feels like. You carry invisible bruises from things others don't even notice. But what if you could change the story your mind tells? What if your peace didn't depend on people being warm, clear, or careful, but on your ability to remain steady no matter what energy walks in the room? In this video, you'll learn 7 Stoic rules to help you stop breaking over small shifts, not by shutting down, but by rising above. You'll learn how to keep your calm without losing your depth, how to feel fully without falling apart. Welcome to Stoic Philosophy Daily, where your story matters. Share your experience or your biggest struggle below. Every comment you leave is a gift. Here, your voice matters. We read with care, answer with heart, and treat your journey as part of our own. This is more than a channel. It's a circle of strength. If you're ready to stop bleeding from what doesn't even cut, let's begin. 1. Peace is built, not bestowed. Most people treat peace like a visitor. They wait for it to arrive when the day is quiet, when no one disagrees, when nothing goes wrong. And for a few soft hours, they feel calm. But that calm is rented, not owned. The moment someone raises their voice, the moment plans collapse, the moment pride feels threatened, it disappears. Real peace is not weather, it is architecture. You don't stumble into it, you construct it, choice by choice. Every time anger rises and you breathe instead of reacting, you lay a brick. Every time your ego wants the last word and you choose silence, you reinforce the walls. That is training, that is self-mastery in motion. Peace is not passive, it is not an escape. It is the discipline of returning to your center when your thoughts are loud and chaotic. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." That strength is not found in perfect conditions. It is carved into your nervous system through repetition. There will be days when old wounds reopen, when someone says exactly the thing that hits your insecurity, when traffic, delays, and criticism press against your patience. Those are not interruptions to your growth. They are the training ground. In those moments, anchor your breath, straighten your posture, name the emotion. This is anger. This is pride. Then ask yourself, will I hand over my peace for this? Notice what happens when you don't react immediately. The surge weakens, the clarity returns. Over time, something shifts. You are no longer dragged into every argument. You don't need to defend yourself at every hint of tension. Do you stop chasing external alignment to feel whole? You begin to carry your calm with you. Train this in small moments when someone cuts you off in traffic, when you are interrupted mid-sentence, when you are tired and tempted to complain. These micro decisions shape your identity. The more you choose stillness, the more accessible it becomes. If your calm depends on conditions, it isn't trained. If every irritation can steal it, it isn't built. But when your peace is reinforced daily through breath, posture, silence, and deliberate response, it becomes difficult to shake. At Stoic Daily, we believe peace is a discipline sharpened through repetition. Comment below, in what small moment today will you choose to hold your peace instead of handing it away? 2. Not every feeling deserves your energy. There is a dangerous myth in our culture that depth means feeling everything intensely, that sensitivity means reacting to every shift in tone, every pause, every unread message. But constant emotional reaction is not awareness. It is exhaustion disguised as virtue. The Stoics understood something radical. Emotion is natural. Over-identification with it is optional. When every silence becomes rejection and every delay becomes disrespect, you are not being perceptive. You are surrendering your peace to interpretation. Life is often neutral. People are distracted, tired, and overwhelmed with battles you will never see. Yet the untrained mind makes everything personal. It assigns meaning where none was intended, and then it suffers from a story it created. When emotion rises, pause and ask, is this truly about me? Or is this my old wound searching for evidence? That question alone creates distance, and distance creates clarity. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, if external things pain you, it is not they that disturb you, but your own judgment of them. That judgment is where your power lives, not in controlling others, but in choosing what deserves entry into your mind. You are not required to become a character in every drama. You are not obligated to decode every silence. Your empathy is valuable. Your attention is sacred. If you scatter it across every minor disruption, you will have nothing left for what truly matters. Practice this in real time. When someone replies briefly, when a plan shifts, when energy feels off, resist the urge to spiral. Instead, breathe and say internally, this may not be about me. Notice how your nervous system softens. Notice how the storm shrinks when you stop feeding it. Over time, you'll discover something powerful. You feel more authentic when you stop reacting to everything. You grieve when grief is real. You celebrate when joy is genuine. You engage when the connection is mutual. That is not coldness, that is discernment. At Stoic Daily, we believe true strength is not in feeling more, but in feeling wisely. Comment below, where in your life are you giving energy to something that doesn't deserve it? 3. Sensitivity without strength becomes self-destruction. You can feel the storm before it arrives. You hear pain in someone's voice before they speak it. You read the air, sense the shift, pick up on everything others miss. That's not a weakness, that's a gift. But a gift without structure becomes a burden. And sensitivity without strength is like a violin with no tuning. Every note turns into noise. The Stoics never told us to stop feeling. They taught us to pair feeling with clarity. Because if your awareness is not anchored, it turns inward, and that's where it cuts. Every glance becomes rejection. Every delay feels like disrespect. Every silence becomes proof that you are unworthy. But it's not the world that hurts you. It's your interpretation without discipline. Seneca warned, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. And that's exactly what happens when emotion leads without wisdom. You drown in feelings that were never yours to begin with. You collapse under shadows that were never meant to define you. This isn't because you're too emotional. It's because no one taught you how to stand steady within it. Strength doesn't mean shutting down. It means knowing what's yours to carry and knowing when to stay soft and when to step back. Knowing when someone's behavior is about their own storm, not your worth. Think of a ship. Sensitivity is the sail, but strength is the anchor. Without both, you drift, capsize, sink. Try this. The next time you feel the pull to internalize someone's tone or silence, pause. Breathe. Say to yourself, is this about me, or am I trying to make sense of their chaos? That pause saves you. That breath grounds you. The more you practice it, the more you separate reality from reflex. And over time, you'll feel more. Not because you're overexposed, but because you're no longer drowning in distortion. At Stoic Daily, we believe true emotional power is not in feeling more. It is about feeling clearly. Comment below. When has your sensitivity become your strength? When has it turned against you? 4. Not yours to carry. There's a kind of emotional freedom that only arrives when you stop interpreting every shift in someone else's behavior as a judgment of your worth. The sigh they didn't explain, the message they didn't answer, the coldness that wasn't there yesterday. These moments become like mirrors, and if you're not careful, you start seeing your own reflection in someone else's storm. But that storm may have nothing to do with you. The Stoics remind us, it's not things that disturb us, but our judgment about them. People carry hidden wounds, grief, anxiety, shame, often masked by silence or distance. When they withdraw, lash out, or go quiet, it's usually their own battle talking, not a verdict on your value. And yet, if you've been raised to earn love through performance or shaped by past rejection, your mind rushes to connect the dots. A delay becomes proof you're unworthy. A frown becomes rejection. That's not perception, that's projection. And it's how you begin to carry weight that was never yours to lift. It's like walking through a crowded station and picking up every suitcase that isn't yours. One glance, one mood swing, and your peace is gone. Because somewhere along the way, you started making other people's emotions your responsibility. But emotional strength doesn't mean building walls. It means building clarity. Imagine standing at the edge of a lake. Someone throws a rock in and the ripples reach your feet. You felt it. But the splash wasn't about you. The water only moved because something else entered it. That's what it means to stop personalizing every wave. Try this. When someone's mood shifts or their silence cuts deep, don't rush to fix it. You don't spiral. Instead, give space, breathe. Tell yourself their emotions are theirs to manage. My peace is mine to protect. You're not responsible for every storm you witness. You're responsible for not letting it flood your mind. Yes, sometimes people will lie, betray, wound. But even then, your job is not to carry the weight of what they broke. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. You are allowed to walk away. You are allowed to keep your peace sacred. At Stoic Daily, we believe true strength is knowing what pain is yours and what never was. Comment below, what's one story you've carried too long that was never really about you? 5. Boundaries are the architecture of peace. You've been burned before, so you build walls, high ones, thick ones. At first, it feels safe. No one can reach you. But over time, that silence starts to echo, because what protects you from pain also begins to block out joy. We often confuse boundaries with walls, but they come from very different places. Walls are built from fear. Boundaries are built from wisdom. One locks the world out, the other guides the world in. Seneca once said, "Associate with those who will make a better man of you." He didn't say isolate, he said choose wisely. Boundaries are how you choose. They are how you decide who gets access to your time, your energy, your heart, not because you're cold, but because you've learned the cost of leaving your gates wide open. Think of your mind like a garden. Without a fence, anything can wander in. Criticism, manipulation, guilt. Boundaries are that quiet fence, not to push others away, but to give space for what you want to grow. You don't need to slam doors or announce cutoffs. Sometimes a boundary is not replying. Sometimes it's saying no without apology. Sometimes it's leaving when your peace is no longer welcome. The danger of building walls is that they don't just keep people out. They keep healing out. Growth, light, the people who might actually stay, and over time, your armor becomes a cage. You stop feeling protected. You feel alone. Here's the shift. True strength isn't closing your heart. It's keeping it open without letting it get trampled. It's choosing who to let in based on how they treat your peace, not how loud they demand your attention. It's staying rooted in your values, even when someone calls you selfish for protecting them. Try this. Look at one relationship where you've been shrinking, people-pleasing, or walking on eggshells. What's one small line you can draw today? Maybe it's reducing how often you respond. Perhaps it's saying no with less explanation. Don't build a wall, build a gate, and lock it with clarity, not resentment. At Stoic Daily, we believe that boundaries aren't barriers. They're blueprints for peace. Comment below. What's one boundary you're ready to set, not out of fear, but out of self-respect? 6. Silence isn't empty, it's strength. We live in a world that fears stillness. The moment the noise fades, discomfort rises, and to escape it, we reach reflexively for anything: a screen, a song, a scroll. But here's the paradox: the peace we crave is found not in more noise, but in learning to sit with the quiet. Most people aren't afraid of silence. They're so scared of what silence reveals: the untied knots of overthinking, the echoes of unprocessed pain, the buried truths that come up when there's nowhere else to run. But the Stoics knew that true inner calm is built by choosing stillness, not by avoiding it. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." But to reach that retreat, you must first make it a safe place, not a place of judgment or tension, but of presence. To try this, next time you're waiting in line, resist the urge to pull out your phone. Just breathe. Let your thoughts surface. At first, your body might tense. It's like a muscle twitching from unfamiliar stillness. That's not a sign to escape. It's a sign you're finally listening. Because when you can sit in silence without panic, without urgency, you begin to hear what actually matters: the rhythm of your breath, the tension in your shoulders, the story you're telling yourself without realizing. And slowly, silence stops feeling like absence. It becomes a presence. It's like tuning an instrument. If the strings are always plucked, never rested, their sound warps. So does your mind. Constant stimulation ungrounds you, but silence resets your tone. It sharpens your perception. It makes you aware of which thoughts are noise and which are truth. True strength isn't just reacting well to stress. It's knowing how to return to yourself when stress isn't there. And that return happens in silence. So the next time you find yourself restless in a quiet room, ask, "Am I uncomfortable with the quiet or with myself?" This one question reveals everything. Because the day you stop fearing silence is the day you begin to trust your own inner stability. That's the foundation of all Stoic strength. 7. Guard your peace like it's sacred. Your peace isn't a luxury. It's your foundation, your inner compass, the anchor that keeps you steady when life is chaos. For too long, we treat peace as an afterthought, something to enjoy only when the world calms down. But true peace isn't a reward at the end of a struggle. It's the ground you stand on in every battle. When you trade your calm for the approval of others, for guilt, for old obligations, you quietly betray your own soul. There comes a moment when you finally see what's at stake. Without inner peace, your mind races, your energy drains, your joy fades, and even the best parts of life begin to unravel. The Stoic lesson is clear: peace must be guarded as fiercely as a flame in a storm. You do not apologize for protecting your spirit. You do not bargain away your stillness just to fit someone else's story. This discipline isn't about withdrawal, it's about presence. True calm is built by saying no without guilt, leaving toxic cycles without regret, and holding boundaries even when misunderstood. You owe your peace to no one, not to manipulative friends, not to the culture of burnout, not even to your own past habits of people-pleasing. Generosity starts within. You cannot pour from an empty cup. The cost? Sometimes it means letting go of relationships that depended on your silence, sacrificing applause or belonging that only existed when you shrank yourself. But what you gain is priceless. Mornings of stillness, evenings of quiet clarity, space to grow, to breathe, to choose what truly nourishes you. Mutual, honest relationships replace draining ones. You find a connection rooted in choice, not obligation. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The tranquility that comes when you stop caring what they say or think or do, only what you do." This is the essence of guarding your peace. You become the guardian of your energy, the anchor in your own life, not cold or detached, but deeply alive and clear about what matters. Try this. Each day, notice when your peace is threatened by guilt, by old habits, by the demands of others. Ask yourself, am I betraying my own center just to be liked? Who actually benefits when I abandon myself? Practice saying no without explanation. Step away from the cycles that drain you. Set boundaries not out of spite, but from wisdom and respect for your soul. True calm isn't escape. It's meeting life on your terms, with presence and softness that survives the storm. Sensitivity isn't a flaw. It's a signpost showing you what to protect. In every choice, let your peace be your guide, not your reward. Anchor yourself in clarity, and the world's chaos can never shake your core. At Stoic Daily, we believe peace is not just a gift, it's a responsibility. Drop "I protect my peace" in the comments. What's one way you'll guard your calm this week? Carry your calm forward. True calm isn't emptiness. It's the quiet strength to choose what gets your energy and what doesn't. Calm isn't cold detachment. It's the wisdom to discern what matters, to let go of what doesn't serve, and to root yourself in presence even as the world rushes by. If something in this journey helped you find even a small spark of clarity, hold on to it. Let that stillness travel with you into the noise of your day. Let it shape the way you listen, the way you pause, the way you return to your center no matter what comes. And if there's someone in your life searching for that same steadiness, share this message. Sometimes a gentle nudge is all we need. If you want to keep walking this path, where depth matters more than noise and self-reflection beats reaction, subscribe and join the circle. And if today's lesson moved you, leave a comment below with just 3 words: choose your calm. Life will keep moving, the world won't get quieter, but your inner peace never needs to be shaken by the chaos outside. The next step on your journey is waiting. Until then, stay present, stay rooted, and guard your peace fiercely. At Stoic Philosophy Daily, we believe calm is an art, and we practice it daily.
If you're seeking more, discover the full path on my channel.
Stoic Philosophy Daily.